Yo, what's good everyone? It's MJO23Dan. So today I want to talk about the Air Jordan 20. The Air Jordan 20 Retro in the Stealth colorway is about to release tomorrow, which is March 14, 2015. And it's going to be $220. Back in 2005, the Air Jordan 20 were $175. And I just want to go over the original since I'm not going to be picking up the retro. So as I show you up close, this is the box. The front of the box has a bunch of the sneakers from the Air Jordan line. 1 through 20 would be all up on there. Here's the tag information. See, the price tag was $175. This is the Air Jordan 20 Stealth box. On the side you have Jordan. On the back you have all the sneakers. Jordan again. And then on the top, you got the Jumpman along with the 6 rings, symbolizing Michael Jordan's 6 rings. Now when you open the box, it's going to be Velcro, and it's going to open just like that. Inside, you get a bag that you can wear. You know, usually people use this for the gym or something. Put your shoes in here. You can even put like delicate items in here to throw in the wash. But that is the patch on the bottom right there. It is the 8505 20-year anniversary patch. Also in the box, you have each of these coasters or circle cars, if you may. It's going to have 1 through 20 all lined up around in the circle, which is kind of like a makeshift Jordan face box, but Michael's looking to the side there. And then you have the 20-year anniversary right there. On the back, not everything was consistent. You got a different card randomly in each of the Air Jordan 20 boxes. So this specific one is of Dolores Jordan driving a 1976 Chevy Monte Carlo. And in the back there you have MJ. And basically the story with this icon, and it's also on the shoes, I'm just going to go ahead and read it. It's the 1976 two-door sedan, which is also MJ's first car, but that's Michael sitting in the back seat for being suspended from the 10th grade. It'd be really interesting to find out what exactly he got suspended for, but just to show you, this is one of the icons that are on the shoes. And then finally on the box, on the inside, well, I have my receipt. On the inside you have the paper, which has the symbols, or I'm sorry, the etchings of the sneaker, along with on the inside a box throughout. Now, one other thing that was pretty cool here is that we got a glimpse of what the technology is in the Air Jordan 20. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read what exactly it says up here. Starting at the top left, it says the ankle strap. For added support in the ankle, Air Jordan 20 utilizes a customizable ankle support system. The ankle leash can be worn as a free-floating strap anchored only in the heel for maximum flexibility and mobility. Or the strap can be integrated with a flip-up tab on the tongue top to provide an additional arch or anchor. When the leash is anchored with the tongue top, it will provide added ankle support for those who need true cut performance. So it just goes ahead. This is called what Tinker called the leash, but it's actually it's called the Kobeck ankle strap. And Kobeck is a synthetic leather. It's not really patent leather. You'll see that on the original colorway of the Air Jordan 20. It is what Tinker called the leash. Moving on, you have the IPS system, or the independent podular suspension. And each pod in here had different densities. So as I read on, it's going to say, IPS is a new cushioning technology developed exclusively for the Air Jordan 20 shoe. This system strategically places 20 IPS columns of varying density phylon beneath key performance areas of the foot. Resting directly above the outsole, IPS is positioned for maximum efficiency in compression and dispersion of shock and energy. I'll get to that in a bit too. Enabling quick and responsive reactions to the highest performance needs of basketball. So from what I've seen here, the Air Jordan 20 is actually an awesome balling shoe, and it's also a great off-court look. So in the heel, you have a softer EVA, or what they use with what they call with the foams, the softer EVA in the back. So as you grab that rebound, you got the maximum support in the heel. And then right there in the forefoot, you have a harder EVA, which will allow a player to, play off the toes of their feet or the ball of their feet, and just be a lot more quicker and responsive on the court. So here we go. This is the Air Jordan 20 Stealth in the original colorway. And I'm not going to be picking up the retro, but basically from the differences that I saw is the color of the strap. So with the color of the strap, basically what it is a different, they're different icons all around. And the story goes like this. So the inspiration with the Air Jordan 20 was to bring back Tinker. Tinker was the last one, or the last to do the Air Jordan 15. But Gentry Humphrey had invited him to go ahead and see if we can do a 20th anniversary shoe, and it was only right, and Tinker had gladly accepted. So basically a day after Tinker accepted, he remembered visiting a trumpet shop 2 years prior, and in that trumpet shop was an individual by the name of David Monet. And David Monet designed trumpets to tell the life story of great musicians all over on his trumpets. So with that being said, Tinker Hatfield had relied upon Mark Smith, who also worked on the project here, and he designed the majority of the artwork that is on the shoes. So if you see this left shoe, there's going to be varying icons all throughout, and it's different from the right shoe and all the different placements. So the way these icons were brought about is basically a story in which Tinker Hatfield had wanted to meet up with Michael Jordan and figure out a way to tell his life story in a shoe. So how it goes is that Michael Jordan invited Tinker Hatfield to his office, and just so happened that Warren Sapp was there, Howard White was there, and Tinker Hatfield was just in the corner or in the back, and he was just sketching and all that stuff. And Warren Sapp and Michael Jordan are pretty much trash talking each other about championships, how much they have, blah blah blah. And so it just inspired Tinker to go ahead and create a bunch of icons, because he really wanted to get that effect onto a shoe and to define Michael not only from the basketball court but also personally. So while Tinker's sketching the shoe, Warren Sapp is bugging, and he wants to see what's going on because he wanted to know what the design process went about. So towards the end of that hangout there, Tinker already had the shoe basically drawn out, and I'll go ahead and post a sketch of what you can see in the Air Jordan 20 and the early renderings. So basically the outsole is all IPS, independent podular suspension, and it also represents each pillar of Michael Jordan's career. So in each pillar you have 10 on the left and 10 on the right. It's also encapsulated with herringbone traction, and the background in the gray is going to represent the tire of a motorcycle, which was also the inspiration behind the Air Jordan 20. You got clear rubber, or let me show you the first colorway. You got clear rubber on the herringbone traction, as you can see, along with the pillars of MJ's career. And the Air Jordan the herringbone on the bottom of the 20 is also going to represent the clear outsole of, well, it's not really clear here, but the same type of material thought of in the Air Jordan 11. So let me just go ahead and decipher this code for you. So, like I said, each pod, and these are about 2 millimeters out from the shoe, as you can see. Each pod is going to represent a specific Air Jordan. So, with the top of the toe, you got the 6, you got the 6, you got the 13, the 5 with the flames, the 9 with the look of the upper of the shoe, the lace lock of the Air Jordan 4, you got the 10, the 7, elephant print of the 3, the 2, and then you have the iconic Wings logo on the bottom of the 1. On the left shoe, you're going to have the upper of the Air Jordan 12. These are the flex grooves or the diamond pattern on the upper of the Air Jordan 19, the Air Jordan 11 silhouette, the Ferrari logo of the Air Jordan 14. You got the tongue of the 15 up here. You have here the 17, which almost looks like it's the mule Air Jordan 17. You have the Air Jordan 16. You have the 18, the 8, and then the 20, as you see with the 2 X's. All right. Looking at the shoe again, you have these dimples on the side. And basically, these are 69 dimples representing Michael Jordan's career high 69 points in an NBA game. On the other side, you have 35, and that represents Michael Jordan's age of retirement. So he was 35 when he finally retired from the game. And then, let's see, starting on the back of the left shoe, you have the Air Jordan logo, which is started out in chrome. And as you move down, it looks like it's a different shade of color. Not sure if you can pick it up in the sunlight here, but it is, whenever you start like a motorcycle or a bike and you see the exhaust, it goes from chrome to like a bluish tint all the way down. So that's what the designers of the Air Jordan 20 wanted to represent with the shoe. On the sides, you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's supposed to represent the first, the second, and the third championship of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. 1985 is when it started. 05 is the 20th anniversary of the sneaker. And then on the right shoe, same deal, but you have 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, the 4th, 5th, and 6th championship of Michael Jordan. This is the Air Jordan 20, or the 20th year, and his number 23 in the back. Then you have the Jordan on the ankle strap. And basically with the ankle strap, this is how it works. So basically if you take off the strap, it's a low top. So not many people understand that this was basically one of the first waves of basketball shoes that were in low top fashion. A lot of people like to call out that the Kobe 4 was the first to do low top in basketball, but that's simply not the case. So this Kobeck, the leash, Kobeck is going to be the synthetic material on the strap here. This is not Kobeck. This is Nubuck. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and just do this one here. So you have the ankle strap. So there's 2 ways you can wear. Actually, 3 ways you can wear it. You can wear it without the top part of the tongue, just for off-court use. You can wear it for added mobility or stability by flipping it up and putting it right in between the 2 Velcro positions here, and it'll give you that positioning right there. Now, a third one, if you don't want to have it in your way at all, and by the way, this is a higher profile Velcro, and I'll go ahead and discuss the difference between this type of Velcro and the Velcro in here. But a lot of people also flipped it inside out like this. Kind of looks weird, but if you were playing basketball and you just wanted a ball in it with as a low top, this is how you did it. So the inspiration behind the strap or the leash is from the University of Oregon football players who liked to wear low tops for speed. The strap was supposed to help secure the foot onto the shoe, yet it still could be used as a low top. And yeah, one of the things that Mike requested was that the upper was attached to the tongue, and so you kind of have that feeling of it still being a high top, but is actually a low. All right, and then finally let's move on here to the lines right here. This is supposed to represent the 6 rings of Michael Jordan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's also like a natural flex point for the Air Jordan 20. And then finally, well, actually 2 more things. The icons all around. I'm not going to go ahead and give you like everything, but I just wanted to give you just some items that you might not know of. So let's see. Let's start down here with the 4 kids on the street corner. So legend has it that Michael Jordan drove through a bad neighborhood when he was going to Chicago Bulls games, and before then he would talk to these 4 kids on the street corner before going to games, and he would also give them like tickets and stuff to head on over. Another one, let's see if I can find it. One other cool one that I thought I saw. Yeah, we got Pops right there with the toolbox, because Michael Jordan's father was a handyman, could fix anything. And then you got a bunch of different icons. There's a big old Michael Jordan's face right there, and that's also prominent within the liner of the shoe. You got repeating Michael Jordan faces all around. Oh, and then the bottom right there, which, let's see, I'll pull this through. The bottom right there, you have the eye of the black cat, which is also what is nicknamed Michael. Yeah, and then going over the shoe again, there's the black cat right up there. And this is the whistle for Michael Jordan's coach in high school. And one other thing about the strap is you'll notice that it is single stitched all the way around, and the designers actually wanted to go with a dual stitch or a double stitch, but that would mean shrinking down the graphic and not including everything in it. So they actually went with a single stitch instead of a double stitch, so they can fit everything in there. Let me show you the left shoe. Okay, so now the Velcro. As I was saying, the Velcro on the strap or the leash is of a higher profile as opposed to a lower profile on the tongue. So you have a softer Velcro area along with the actual adhesive part right there. So basically what that's all about is that Tinker wanted to go with some type of ratchet system, but they decided to go with the leather strap instead, because that actually tells the story of Michael Jordan's life and career. But basically the ratchet system was just not going to be good for on-court use. So they thought it was too mechanical and they ditched it and went with the leather strap here. The leather is pre-cut to a final shape and then it's sent to a laser machine. And then post-apply, they post-applied this cream that's supposed to make the strap one color, because basically when you laser raw material such as leather like this, you're gonna get some unevenness. And I believe with the retro, I think they had dyed it maybe like another color, but it's actually a lot more brown than this. So this one stayed like a gray or a black or whatever. And then on the toe here you have it's like it's a nubuck toe, and it's inspired by the toe drag of the motorcycles and motorcycle boots. So it's actually pretty clean. And that's basically a rundown of the Air Jordan 20. Sorry I didn't go over all the icons. There's about 200 plus on them, but when you get your pair, or if you ever find a pair of the OG, you're going to just, just go ahead and study it and just look at it, because this is one of the most iconic shoes and an instant classic that I feel in the Air Jordan line. So I have the Black Stealth. I also have what's called the Quick Strike, when it was called a Quick Strike back in the day, with the white pods on the bottom, and then the original colorway. The original colorway has like this pearlized iridescent look to the upper, so that was a really nice touch. Alright guys, so that's basically it. This is your Air Jordan 20 review. Go ahead and follow me on social, on Instagram, Twitter, and go ahead and subscribe. Thumbs up the video for me if you like it. Sorry I just kept rambling, but there's just so much that has to go on with the Air Jordan 20 that I know you guys will appreciate. It'd be also pretty cool if someone out there will also do a performance review. Usually with performance reviews, I go with Nightwing because he knows a lot about his materials and the preparations that go into the performance of a shoe. But yeah, that's basically it. It's MJo 23 then. Take care, guys.